This video starts on the beginning of review number 2 worksheet. Question number 30. If segment, it doesn't say if, it says LML, segment ML, and segment LN are tangent to circle P. Actually, you know what? These actually should be rays. So let's go ahead and correct that. This should be ray ML and ray LN are tangent to circle P. Label the right angles. Well, we know that tangent lines to a circle and the radius that touches at the point of tangency are going to be right angles. So there's my two right angles. And the question is, what is the measure of MPN right here? Well, we learned that if these two angles are right angles and all four of these angles form a quadrilateral, they have to add up to 360. That means these two angles, angle MPN and angle L, have to add up to 180. So all we're doing here is we're just taking 180 minus 31, and we're going to get 149 degrees. So that means this angle has to be 149 degrees. And then the next question is, what is the measure of arc MON? Well, MON, you got to go counterclockwise. You can't go MN because there's no O in between. So that's the measure of this arc right here. Well, we know that the measure of the entire circle is 360 degrees. So in order to find this arc measure, we take 360 and subtract the angle 149. And you're going to end up with 211 degrees. Again, class, think about this. If this angle MPN is 149, then the measure of arc MN is 149. And then we know that the measure of arc MON is 360 minus 149. So there's question number 30. Pause the video, do number 31 to verify your understanding. Okay, here are the answers to question 31. If you want to also make a correction here on this one, these should be ray TR and ray TF. There's your answers. If you cannot figure those answers out, go back and look at question number 30 video. Question number 32. If line AC is tangent to circle B, label the right angle. Well, a tangent line and a radius that touch at the point of tangency form a right angle. And that means CAB is a right triangle. The question is, what is the length of AC? Well, AC is right here. We know, class, that 6 meters is not the whole distance from B to A. That just goes to where it touches the circle. That means we have to add 4 meters to the length of this side. So that means this side is actually 10 meters long, and by the way, it's the side opposite the right angle, and that means that must be our hypotenuse. So now we can use Pythagorean theorem to find the length of AC. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember, class, the C squared is always the hypotenuse. We know what that is. That's 10. One of our legs is 4, and B, the other leg, is what we don't know. 4 squared is 16. 10 squared is 100. We're going to subtract 16 from both sides. That gives us B squared equals 84. And let's see, now we're going to square root both sides. When we do that, we end up with B is equal to the square root of 84, which is approximately 9.2, and our unit of measure is meters. Let's take a look at that and see if that makes logical sense. I'm going to label that on our diagram, 9.2 meters. That makes sense. It's less than the length of our hypotenuse. So if it's greater than our hypotenuse, we knew we would have made a mistake. So that looks good. There's how you use Pythagorean theorem to solve for CA. Pause the video and go ahead and work on number 33, and then come back and take a look at your answer. Here's the answer of question number 33. Using the same strategy as 32, you should have gotten the length of SR is equal to 29.4 meters or centimeters. In this case, class, you didn't have to label this part right here, because if we know the radius is 5, this is going to be 5, and we're looking for the length of SR, the whole thing. We know this is our right angle, and we know this is our hypotenuse, and its hypotenuse goes all the way. So don't worry about on this one. It's a little bit different than 32. We don't have to figure out what this part is right here as the radius. We're looking for the total length of SR here. So use Pythagorean theorem, and you should get 29.4 centimeters. Take a look at the next question. Question number 34. The radius of circle R is 5 feet. I'm going to label that now. There's my radius. Now be careful, don't label this yet, because take a look at the question. It says RT is 13. That means they gave us the whole thing. I'm just going to write 13. I can deal with my unit of measure later. I don't have to worry about this, because I know the whole RT is equal to 13 and ST is equal to 12. Is line TS tangent to circle R? Prove whether it is or is not. The way we prove it, class, is we check and see if the Pythagorean theorem is true. If it's true, this must be a right angle. And if that's a right angle, then line ST must be tangent. So let's take a look at the math and see if we can figure this out. We got A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Our hypotenuse is this line right here. If this were a right triangle, that'd be the right angle, which means this opposite side, or the longest side of the triangle, is the hypotenuse. So we've got 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. That's 25 plus 144. It should be equal to 169 if this is a right triangle. 25 plus 144 is 169. And that equals C squared. So boom, Pythagorean theorem is true. That means we have proven that line TS is tangent. So then we're going to write that is TS is tangent to circle R because triangle RST is a right triangle. Now, if you found out that this equation was not true, if you added up this side, it equaled 150. 150 does not equal 169, so your answer would be line TS is not tangent to circle R because triangle RST is not a right triangle. So there's how you write your proof and write your evidence for your proof. Pause the video, try to do number 35 on your own. Here is part of the answer for 35. As you check this out, you would find that the Pythagorean theorem is not true. On this particular example, class, just want to make sure you know, in this case, we're not given the entire length of AB. We're given only the distance from the circle to point A. That means you have to add 9 to this side, and that means this is going to be 41 inches. And now you've got your leg, and this is your hypotenuse. When you set up the Pythagorean theorem, you will get an equation that is not true, and therefore you're going to write your proof that line AC is not tangent to circle B because triangle CAB is not a right triangle. Make sure you write out that full sentence to get credit for this worksheet. Alright, take a look at question number 36. What is the circumference of this tire rim? Well, before I can do circumference, and then 37 is area, before I can do either one of those, I have to know what the radius is. So look at my tire here, I know that my radius is equal to 25 centimeters. So the circumference of a circle, circumference is equal to 2 pi r, which is equal to 2 pi times 25. And now we can combine the 2 and the 25. 2 times 25 is 50. And so our answer is 50 pi centimeters. And I am happy with that answer. If you want to convert that to a decimal, you can put that in your calculator. 50 times pi, and that equals 157.1. So I can put that as part of my answer. 157.1 centimeters. But I'm happy with the answer stated in terms of pi. What is the area of this tire rim? Well, area is equal to pi r squared, which is pi times 25 squared. And at 25 squared, let's do that in our calculator, 25 squared is equal to 625. So 625, don't forget pi. Pi has not disappeared here. 625 pi, and this is area, so it's going to be in squared units, 625 centimeters squared. And if you want to estimate that or approximate that, you can put that in your calculator. 625 times pi is equal to approximately 1963.5. 1963.5, and that'd be centimeters squared. So there's how to find the circumference and area. Do number 38 and 39 on your own, and then come back and take a look at the answers. See if you can get them correct. Okay, here are the answers to 38 and 39. Make sure you verify that the question gave us the diameter, not the radius. Since we need radius for circumference and area, you had to divide the diameter by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15 inches. And these are the two answers you should get for this question in terms of pi. And if you want to practice writing them out as a decimal to one decimal place, you can do that as well. And that's the end of this video.